YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got a massive pickup here that I really need to thank Longshot for because he was basically my mule on this one again. I bought this from the States, didn't want to have it shipped to Canada because it would have just basically destroyed the deal. It's not a killer deal by any stretch of the imagination. I really thought this stuff was in better shape from the picture that I saw, and unfortunately it's in pretty rough shape now. I'll be able to clean up a lot of it, and for the price I paid I figured that the seller would have cleaned this stuff up at least, but apparently not, so I'm not really too overly pleased with that aspect of things, but that's the way that goes. On the same note, it's not like a totally bust deal kind of thing. I'm sure everything works. It looks pretty decent for the most part. It just has a few back swaps and things like that on games that I need to do and things like that, clean them up a lot. Same with the system and everything like that came with it. So I'll get started in this deal right now and I'll explain it to you. So basically I was checking out a Facebook group. There was an ad posted there for a video game trade type thing, and a person wanted $300 US for this lot. It has 37 Super Nintendo games. I'd say probably about half of which are basically filler titles, unfortunately, but there's a couple of pretty decent titles in here as well. There's a system in it as well, 3 controllers, all this kind of stuff. So I said I'd take it, not realizing how I was going to basically get killed on the deal. What happened was, with shipping, which was 25 bucks because I kept it in the States, thank goodness I kept it in the States. It would have cost me way more than that, but it was 25 US for that. So it started out, now it's $325. Then $12 for like PayPal fees kind of thing. There's another 12 bucks tacked onto there. And then you have to exchange all that over into Canadian funds, and basically in Canadian funds I paid almost $400 for this, which because of the confusion between all of this kind of stuff, what I'm going to do is I'll actually put up the Canadian and American equivalent prices for this, just so when people are watching this it makes a little more sense. But essentially when I do my videos, usually I'm telling you in Canadian funds what I paid, and the price charting value is actually, that I usually show, is actually in the American fund. So I'm sort of debating whether or not I should do like some sort of conversion over kind of thing and then show both, because I understand that a lot of American viewers may not understand Canadian money that well. So I might actually show both kind of thing in my future videos. I thought I'd start with this one though, just because it would make more sense, because there was a lot of conversion things that needed to happen in order to make this happen. So I'll show you all those prices anyways. Stay tuned here. Hopefully you can just sort of get through the first part of this. Stick around though, because the end part of this, there's more interesting titles that are going to be in there. It's just the first few ones here are kind of filler. The first 15 really like filler titles. So I'll get started on this anyways to begin with. The first thing I'll show you is the system, and it's not in horrible shape necessarily. It is definitely dirty. I'll clean it because that's an area of expertise of mine, but on the side there's like a little ding right there, and someone named Rod Taylor has carved their name into the bottom of it. This is like a really mixed bag of stuff. Like I can see names written on and all that all over different games, so kind of interesting. It's just I think probably they've gotten stuff and they're just unloading doubles and things like that, which I'm sort of getting their leftovers is kind of the way I'm looking at this. So that's the system though that came with it. It looks like it's in pretty decent shape though. The pins look good and everything like that, so that's nice. Came with 3 controllers. I don't need to show you all of them. There's this kind of they're absolutely filthy though. Really, like I said, wish they had to clean stuff up. Came with an aftermarket controller. This one's called the Pelican Accessory. It has like turbo and slow and all that kind of stuff on it. It's sort of interesting. I'll check it out. But again, absolutely nasty. It's just gross. The mouse for Mario Paint and probably other games. So pretty cool. I didn't have one of these, so I'm pretty happy to get this. Again though, it's in pretty rough shape, like sticker residue all over it, yellowed and stuff like that. So not super pleased with that fact. I could tell it was yellowed in the picture, but couldn't really tell how nasty it was. But like I said, the other 2 controllers are here, and it came with an aftermarket power supply kind of thing. third party. Seems pretty hefty though, so it's not like one of those super cheapo ones I think from China. Like, no, well, this one is from China, but like, you know, it's not one of those super cheap ones that are like lightweight and absolutely garbage. It seems like a pretty decent one, so that's kind of nice. Moving on though, I'm going to get into the games here. Like I said, I'm going to put up Canadian prices, American prices, just so you can kind of keep it straight, because I know $400 probably sounds like a lot. In American funds, I don't know what that really equates to off the top of my head, but it's more like $350 or like $340 kind of thing, I think. Just because Canadian dollar is about 80 cents on the dollar for American dollars kind of thing. Like, you know, that's sort of the way that it converts over. I don't know what it is today, so I'm just going to show today's conversions anyways. Let me get started. Enough with all the chit chat. Basically, I got NBA Live 95, which I don't really need for my collection. I've got NBA All-Star Challenge, which I don't really necessarily have an interest in. It's not only the infamous LJN, but it's also a sports title, so I'm wondering how that's going to work out. There's Monopoly right there. What else is here? Jeopardy Deluxe Edition, so lots of filler, like nothing really valuable so far. Moving on, Wheel of Fortune Deluxe Edition, and like I said, like all that writing on the back, there's Hope's copy of it. I think Hope's name came up a couple of times in here. NBA Jam, that's a pretty quality actual sports title. Lots of fun to be had there, but I already have it in my collection, so I'm going to sell that off. Super WrestleMania, and this one here I believe I already have in my collection, so I'm not going to be needing this copy of it. It's a little bit faded too. Madden 97, another title that I'll probably never play. On the back, this one was owned by LNM, so it's Bubsy. Not really a stellar title from what I've heard, but I'm gonna check it out. I'll probably add it to my collection just because I don't have it. And then the sequel, Bubsy 2, and this one here is in pretty decent shape, so I might end up keeping that. I don't really know about that just yet. Super Caesar's Palace, not going to be holding on to this one likely. Next one is Boxing Legends of the Ring. Don't know a whole lot of this title, so I'm gonna have to check that out. Might be interesting. This one here is Top Gear, which I believe I have in my collection already, so not really going to hold on to that. Mine, I think, is in better condition than this. I'll have to check though, I'm not totally certain about it. Moving on, Super Off-Road the Baja. Not going to be keeping that because I already have it in my collection. And then Tecmo Super Bowl 3 Final Edition. Don't really know a whole lot about that title. I might hold on to it even though it is a sports title. It's part of the Tecmo Super Bowl series, so I thought I'd, you know, hold on to that basically. Let me just get some of this stuff out of the way and I'll get into some of the more interesting games, at least from my perspective, things that are a little more interesting. Something I didn't have in my collection, so I may hold on to it, is SimCity. That's pretty cool right there. I know, like, I played SimCity in the past. I can't imagine on the Super Nintendo it's that great though, but we'll have to see. Toy Story, which the only reason why I'd be holding on to this is my son is a Toy Story fanatic, so if I find Toy Story games, I'm going to pick them up all day long, just for him if they're the right price kind of thing. Miss Pac-Man, I already have this one, but this one actually, although it's not in perfect shape, that's for sure, it's probably in better condition than the one that I have, because I think mine has like a rip on the label somewhere, can't really remember, or it's like really faded, so this will be an upgrade for me. Mortal Kombat, so we're getting into some more interesting games obviously here, at least something that, you know, I'll be able to resell because I already have it in my collection. Mortal Kombat 2, I already have it in my collection. This one's in pretty decent shape though, so I'll just have to clean it up, just as with everything in here. Moving on from there, Space Invaders. This one here is actually kind of interesting. It has like different versions of Space Invaders on it, like the original version and so on. Like, I don't know, there's just a variety of different ones. It's not like a super long game or anything like that. I don't know, you know, if it totally, if it's that interesting, but I think I'll probably hold on to it just because it is like that retro style thing. Super Empire Strikes Back. I was hoping this was actually going to be an upgrade for mine because I think mine are a little bit faded. This one fared no better. It's still pretty faded, so that's that. And Super Return of the Jedi. This one here, again, bums me out because it's really faded. Unfortunately, I can try to clean it up a little bit, obviously, but it's not in the world's greatest shape, and I was really hoping to upgrade my copy of that. but like I said, from the pictures, I couldn't really tell. I could tell it looked like it was in better shape, but it just turns out that it wasn't. Pictures kind of lied to me, basically. B.O.B. This is something I'm going to be holding on to. It's an Electronic Arts game. It's like a platformer, I'm pretty sure. It's like a shooting action platformer type of deal. So I'm going to hold on to that. I want to check it out, that's for sure. Something that I find interesting, I don't think this title is like that interesting in and of itself. It's probably not that good, but just because of the fact that I really loved this series or whatever of cartoons when I was a kid, I'll probably hold on to this. Is Tiny Toon Adventures Wacky Sports Challenge. And the next one here is Final Fight, which I didn't have in my collection, so that's pretty awesome. I'm going to add that in. And looking forward to checking it out. Mario Paint I already have in my collection, so I'll probably just either trade mine off. I think this one might be in better shape. I'm not totally certain about it. I'll have to check. And moving on, Mario is Missing. I heard this is not really a good title. It's not really like one of your renowned Mario titles. Speaking of Mario, there are some getting into some more interesting games here, that's for sure. The first one here is Super Mario World. So obviously that's going to go with the system when I sell it off. I have multiple copies of that. Super Mario All-Stars, always good to pick this one up. Obviously has a little bit of value. This one's in decent shape. The back needs to be swapped, but I'll be able to do that with one of those cheaper titles, and hopefully be able to get rid of that and, like, you know, recoup some cash things. We're getting into the better stuff here. Donkey Kong Country, always a good game to pick up. People locally are asking upwards of $25-$30 for this. Sometimes you can see it for 20, so I'll probably end up trying to get like 20-25 out of it and hopefully be able to recoup some of my money with something like that. Donkey Kong Country 2, my copy has some pretty big rips in the label. This one's definitely not perfect, but it's going to be an upgrade for me, so that's really nice. Came with a dust sleeve too. The next one here is Donkey Kong Country 3. I think all my Donkey Kong Country games are sort of in like mixed condition, the ones I have in my collection, so this will be a slight upgrade. It's not mint or anything like that, but it may be actually an upgrade for me, which would be nice. This one here I'm kind of bummed about because I was really hoping it would be an upgrade, but it's probably not, because it does have like rips in the labels and stuff like that, which from the pictures it actually looked like it was in way better condition than the one I had, and I don't think it necessarily is, so I'll have to check though. Yoshi's Island, so Super Mario World 2, awesome title, but you know, it's got like a little rip right here in the label and it's kind of faded. I'll have to clean it up and just see what it ends up looking like at the end, but that's that. Then a copy of Super Mario Kart. Always good to pick this up, obviously somewhat sought after. People are going crazy on the price of this one, so I'm gonna have to like see what I can get for it, but again, something to help recoup my loss because I've already got that game in my collection. This one here though, I'm probably going to hold on to, even though it's not in the world's greatest shape, but I don't have it in my collection yet, and that's Killer Instinct. So I don't really know, you know, about like the condition of this, really. Like, check it out. There's a small rip right here, and that's probably it for the label though. Otherwise the cartridge needs a definite cleaning. That's unfortunate. It doesn't come with a dust sleeve though, so that's kind of nice. The last title here is the one that I'm interested in the most, and this is really what caught my attention originally. When I saw the $300 price tag, I was like, system, those like Donkey Kong games, the Yoshi games, like all that kind of stuff. I'm like, I already have that, so I can kind of recoup my loss on it. And then this game was something that I definitely was going to keep though, and that's Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. So that was the final game. The whole reason basically for me getting this entire lot is hopefully just to cover the cost of this. If I can end up getting this and like paying $10 for it kind of thing, I'll be more than happy to do that. So like I said, not the world's greatest lot or anything like that, but a ton of games, definitely some trading fodder and sale fodder and things like that, which is really nice to have. And Super Nintendo games just keep going up and up, so honestly not too bad of a deal, I don't think. I really wish they had cleaned this stuff up a little bit better though. It's really unfortunate considering what I paid for it. They should have probably put a little time into at least wiping them down, but that being said, it doesn't really matter that much because I end up cleaning everything I get anyways. So that's everything. Really happy to, you know, add a few new titles like Killer Instinct, Mario RPG obviously, There's some other things in there, like I mentioned before, that I'm going to end up keeping, but most of this I'm going to end up trading off. So that's everything. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I'll see you all later.